Hello, welcome to my world with Harry Urban. This is the this is this is take two of the premiere show. The first one I did, it was good, really good. You would really enjoy it. But I forgot to hit the record button. Okay, so I'm back. you most of you know me as the dementia awareness advocate, that I speak out a lot on various forms of dementia. And when I speak about it, I speak about the disease. I speak about the dementia. I tell you about that. But very seldom do we see the person living with dementia. Now, if I told you that 13 years ago I was diagnosed with some form of dementia, probably of the Alzheimer's type, you would never think that. You never believe that, because I look so normal. And I am normal, but you don't know that, okay? Because in your mind you have this perception of what somebody living with dementia should be. And through this show, I want to capture the person. I want to capture not only their story and what they're doing about overcoming all the hardships, but I want to know about the accomplishments they're doing. What are they contributing? How are they making themselves happy? And I think a show like this is going to let you come into my world and see what we do. Now, when I was diagnosed with dementia, or prior to that, I had this tremendous love of woodworking. And when I got that horrible diagnosis, I thought, those days are over. Well, anybody that knows me knows that's not true. So I come to realize that I can't do the things that I used to do. I had to scale it down. But I wanted to scale it down, but make sure that I still enjoy what I'm doing. I still want to capture that love of woodworking. I still want to be able to smell the smells of various woods, how they touch, how they feel, things like that. So I started back on my woodworking skills, getting into making pens. Now, literally, I made hundreds of pens, writing pens. I made so many pens that I got sick of it. And there's more to woodworking than making pens. But before I did that, I started playing around with it. I started letting my mind go. I started to visualize a pen I want. I don't want to make a pen that you can go to a craft show. You can go to Walmart, you can go to Sears, you can go all of those places and buy a pen, Office Mac, buy a pen. So I started making these types of pens. And what these pens are actually a desk pen that has a base to it, and you put it on your desk, and then you can write with it. And I made various different signs. Now, like I said, I must have made, I don't know how many of these, but I like to give them away. Oh, but this one I'm going to keep. Why? I don't know, but I think it's a cool pen. Then, after I got tired of making pens, I thought, what can I make now? So I started out by making plates, wooden plates. Okay, and I don't really care what the design is. I like the wood. I like to make things out of different wood. That's woodworking. It doesn't have to look, the design doesn't have to look pretty. The finished product has to be pretty. And the first thing you look at is the grain in the wood. Then I started making these bowls. Let's see, let's start out with this one. These here. Now I made so many different ones over the years of those. And those are fun to make. And this is something that somebody living with dementia can make. Now, of course, you have to realize that anything I'm showing you here, I have to have supervision with. Now, I'm not saying I need somebody standing beside me, holding my hand like at the lathe. I just need somebody there that is a constant reminder to me that don't let my mind wander. Keep my mind on what I'm doing. Then here's some more little containers, I guess you can call them, I made. They come in all different shapes, sizes, and whatever. This one was fun to make. Like like I said, there's no pattern. You take a hunk of wood, you put it on a lathe, and you start cutting away. And then all of a sudden, it's going to take shape. In your mind, you're going to say, oh, I know what I'm making. Let's see, here's a couple more yet. Now, a lot of these that I made, like especially this one I made, it was just a hunk of wood that was laying in the garage, and I was cleaning up the garage, and I was going to just throw it in the trash can to get rid of it. And then for some reason, it stuck to my hands, and I put it on the lathe, and I ended up making that. And I think it's really neat. Little things like this doesn't take long to do. It doesn't take a lot of skill to do it. As far as the cuts on the lathe, now I used to have a big lathe, but obviously it was too big for me, so I got what they classify like a mini lathe. Now I can still cut things. I think it's like 10, 12 inches round if I want to, but it's like a desktop lathe, and it's perfect. It's perfect for me because I can do everything I'm showing you I did on that lathe, and I can do it safely. I don't have to worry about cutting off my fingers. another one. But the you know, like I said, the wood design is what makes it. But to be honest with you, you don't know what the grain of the wood is until you turn it, and then all of a sudden you say, "Wow, that's pretty nice." Then I don't know how many of these snow globes I made. Um, it was funny, the store that sold the snow globes, I bought them out, and they couldn't understand what I was doing with them until I explained to them that I turn a base for them, and they make wonderful Christmas gifts for kids. I mean, they love them. And again, it's you can make it, you can make this stuff for less than $1. I probably showed you these. Well, I did. I posted these. I did them this year, I think, um, around Christmas time. Those are fun. Those are fun to do. Then, of course, you know that. Well, before I get into that, some of the other bowls I did, I started trying segmented, what they call segmented turning. And what you do is you glue up various types of wood, and then you turn it down. And I never done it before, but I started playing around with it, and you can really come up with some interesting designs. And this is something I want to do more of. But you can only do so much. Then, I don't know where to go next. It's spring. It's getting to be springtime. So I wanted to get my wife Hazel some flowers. Now I don't drive anymore, and she works during the tax seasons. So during that time, I'm kind of, I don't want to say homebound, but I'm homebound. So anyway, I wanted to get her flowers, so I couldn't get out and buy her flowers. So I made her a vase of flowers. Well, when she came home from work, I got an extra kiss that day. Oh my goodness. Then I get into making candles, or not candles, candle holders. And I literally, this past Christmas, I literally made 40, 50 candles that I gave out, all different candles. I made some like this for, you know, Christmas time. Here's some. These are fun to make. I like to make them. And then that one, there's another one. Then out of a whim, my daughter likes to, she buys these crazy nutcrackers. Nutcrackers. Yeah, I think that's what they call nutcrackers, but the dolls. Now, she pays hundreds of dollars for these nutcrackers. And to be honest with you, she never cracked a nut in any of them. So I made my own nutcracker. And let me tell you, a friend of mine sent me a bag of walnuts, and I went through them in a day. Something else I wanted to do is there's such a thing they call them love spoons, Welsh spoons, but they look like that. Now I got into wood carving. Now since this is take two, I kind of got out of sequence here, but that's okay. Um, but I have so many of them, so many different designs I want to do. I love doing these. And why I love doing them is I can go outside, I can sit on my bench, um, I can grumble and growl at the squirrel eating out of my bird feeder, and I can just sit there with my knife and I can carve away. So relaxing. You can't beat it. Now, like I said, I got into wood carving, and I never done that before. But I wanted to prove that even though we have dementia, we're living with dementia, we can learn new skills. So many people is under the impression that just because we have dementia, that we can't learn new things. Well, horse feathers. That's not true. So I took up wood carving. Now this is my first attempt at wood carving, and in all honesty, I think it turned out pretty nice for me. And then I started making other wood carvings. I get into making little statuettes and things like that. Uh, I don't know if you remember that, but I posted that on my Facebook page several months ago. I did that, and the latest one that I'm working on now is this one. I still have a long way to go to it, but what I'm trying to do is I'm learning more technique or more details on it, and 80, 90 years from now, I think I'm going to be halfway decent at it. But it's so much fun. Now this is my first show, and like I said, I'm trying to capture what we do. We are more than that person you see, and you have to have faith in us that we can do something. You have to encourage us to do something. We have to let our mind go. We have to get out of the mindset that we have dementia, we can't do anything. And I think the guest I have lined up is going to be able to show you some wonderful things they did, give you some wonderful ideas. And most of all, I hope you learn something. I want you to step into my world, get a glimpse of it, not be afraid, be able to talk to us, and realize that we are happy. You may see us having a very hard life, but trust me, we are happy. Have a great day. Bye-bye.